Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Spiritual Journey podcast. My name is Nimesh Radia, and I'm your host. I always love starting every episode by saying thank you. I feel so very blessed with this podcast. The people it's reaching. My objective when I started was to simplify spirituality and guide people on the journey. Is clearly doing that, and I just feel like it's guided. I feel like when you need to find this podcast, you'll find it. I get so many emails to say, that people find this podcast when you need it most. So if you've been listening to this podcast regularly, thank you. This is your first time, welcome. I am an Akashic record reader, Akashic trainer, podcast host, podcast creator even, and a spiritual coach and mentor. And I get to guide people on their spiritual journey. I get to hold people's spaces while releasing programming, releasing these things that we've been holding on to, and truly becoming your authentic self. And I really feel like we've been pushed to do that. I really feel like we're in a phase where so many cycles are being closed, so much is happening on the planet. And this transition has been planned, and I get to guide people through it. So only those, because with the shift, that we have a choice. Do we focus on the outside noise or do we focus on the inside? I get to guide people on the inside. Also, this podcast, I get to interview some amazing guests, and I'm excited to have Rachel on with me today. And Rachel, I'd love for you to introduce yourself, please.
Thank you, Nimesh. It's really great to be here. I was just listening to what you were saying, and I was just, I'm just feeling what you're saying, and the fact that people will just come across this podcast when they need it and as they need it. I think I just love that. So, and I love the intention that we set before we even began this podcast as well. So, thank you for doing that. I'm Rachel Wayte. How do you introduce yourself in these things? I'm a spiritual energetic advisor. I'm a speaker. I'm a performer. I'm a philanthropist. All the things. That's in a nutshell. That's how I would describe myself. I'm based in Manchester, England, but I work globally, which is amazing to be able to do now that we're digital and we can connect with people wherever they are. But I love what you were saying. I think we work in a similar way, Nimesh. We are here to really support people to sort of come back to themselves. Often where people are no longer seeking that performance, they're like, actually, they're seeking, who am I? What's beyond this? That's the level that I like to play at and work at with people, because that's where you can get really deep and really actually make them see that we're often here for a deeper reason than we realize, but sometimes we've got in the way of that. We've got our beliefs, we've got our doubts, we've got all the human stuff that comes up, and that can get in the way. And I think when we can get rid of the human stuff and help people really realize the impact that they're here to have and the reasons why they're here, that really lights me up. And that's the work that I love to do.
Yeah, it's an interesting time for sure, right? And I really believe that anyone that I'm meant to work with will find me. It's a soul contract, right? We as souls, we'd already kind of predetermined and that the work. And I was having an interesting conversation with one of my clients the other day, and she actually opened the Akashic records, and she was curious if we'd had past lives together. And she discovered that we did. And it's just it's interesting when people find you, and it's a blessing when somebody asks for guidance, right? It's and the other thing I found is it's a co-creation. It's that healers need healing too, and I feel like my healing is also done as I heal others. So I love this journey. I love what I get to do. But yeah, the current energy is interesting, right? I mean, we're recording this kind of for full disclosure a couple of days after big shifts on the planet where Uranus moved into Gemini, and there was 7/7 portal and all that. But it just feels like, and we're just before the full moon, it just feels like the energy is really intense right now. I feel like Gaia, Mother Earth, is going through a continuous massive shift, like for the past maybe 6 months, and I feel like it's going to carry on for at least a year or so. And it's just interesting, when I talk about, it's easy for me to talk about divine masculine in crisis and divine feminine finding itself, because that's what I feel like we're shifting from masculine to feminine. But in practical terms, everybody's going through something. The planet is definitely going through something. I mean, you can look at it and see the chaos on the planet. I feel like that will carry on for a year or so, and I feel like everyone internally is. It's not good or bad. People are at different places, but it just generally is. People are finding out more things about themselves.
Yeah. I everything you said, I completely agree with. I don't look a lot into like the planets. That's not my area of expertise,
Yeah,
but I sense, and I go to people who know more about these things, and I get, I hear information from them. But I feel and sense a lot. So actually, I was getting a real sense at the end of last year. Oh, 2025 is going to be
yeah,
such a big year, a big shift for a lot of people. It has been for me, and and it is for a lot of people. And I think what's happening is, my sense on it is, my feeling in on it is, we're, especially if we are awake, and a lot of people are awakening, we are being called to make changes in our lives. I think it's almost like we're being asked to. This is why it might feel painful for people at the moment. We are really being asked to let go of everything that we don't need to take with us into this new vibration, into this new energy, into this new earth, whatever you want to call it, however you are feeling it. For me, it's been a real journey of some real deep moments of painful stuff that's come up. And because I know I can't take it with me, because if I want to be in this new vibration, in this this sort of, the way I see it is, what we're moving into is pure, it's joyful, it's I just see it, and it feels magical, and it feels like a new vibration where things feel easy, where there's flow, where there's connection, where everything is just as it was meant to be in the first place, let's say. But we can't take any of our back. We can't take energy with us that doesn't serve us, that's holding us back. We can't take our fears with us. We can't take our outdated belief systems with us. We can't take ancestral energy with us. It's like we've got to. I feel like a lot of us are purging that at the moment.
yeah. It's interesting. I mean, actually I don't follow the planets too much either, but I
Yeah,
kind of started to because I'm
yeah,
feeling like things are really shifting, and I feel like there's clues there. So I just kind of keep half an eye on it because
I'm the same.
it's interesting.
Yeah.
But I love the full moon, so
Mm.
I do love the energy of the full moon. I feel like I have a special connection with the moon. Just and sunsets too. But just there's a beautiful connect when it's the full moon. Even if I can't see the full moon, I just I like to bask in the glory and the energy, and allow the moon to energize. That's the one thing I've always done.
Beautiful.
Um, but it's interesting as far as the shift is concerned. I agree. I feel like we're shifting so many layers, so many layers, so many layers, and the work that we're doing, I kind of feel like it's so much deeper. It's like we're clearing so much. We're clearing so much in the space of a few months that I feel like previously would have taken maybe a couple of years, and I feel like we're doing clearing more in one lifetime that would have normally taken multiple lifetimes because of this phase the planet's in. And it's just a
Agree.
really interesting.
Mm.
We chose to be here, and it's just it's like a lot of people talk about ascension and third dimension, fifth dimension, and it's like I don't like to talk about it like it's a black and white thing. Everybody has a choice. Everybody will evolve. I feel like for a while everybody will have a foot in both camps. As you continue to work, I feel like we need to be that, have the foot in both camps, to be the bridge to guide people, to inspire them to shift. But the human experience is, for me, we're a soul having human experience. I don't think the human experience will stop. I don't feel like all of a sudden the lessons that we've got to learn. I just feel there'll be deeper lessons. Because it's not, things being in flow. For me, things being in flow doesn't mean that crazy things don't happen. Like today I have a very, very human experience with electrics, and is all that's going to stop? Who knows? Maybe, maybe not. But I feel like it's more about, how do you bounce back? How do you get up from it? How do you? Because it's like everything's a lesson, right? As far as I'm concerned, I'm a student. So if something happens, oh, why did my soul pick that? Is that interesting? I feel like the one area that we're being challenged right now is the people in our world and the things that we do. So it's like the way I look at it is how are we feeding ourselves? And that means that not just the food, but the conversations we have, the people in our world. What do we watch? What do we listen? I feel like the last few years, the universe has cleared our path with friends and things like that to allow us to go through this reset. And now we're kind of entering into the age of the community and recreating a safe group of people around us that can hold our space. Nobody's going to understand the story. It's unique, but I'm curious what your take is on community. And I feel like Divine Masculine was all about individuals, all about, and I feel like all of that is coming down. It's becoming more about communities standing in your power, but also asking for help, and that being a strength. I'm curious, are you seeing the same thing? How does that sound to you?
It's interesting. So I'm seeing similar things. So from a personal perspective, a bit like you, over the past few years, I would say that some people, quite a lot of people who I could have potentially called them friends or have fallen away. It's just has happened. And there's been times where I felt quite lonely in the sense of, where are my people? Like I felt like no one understands me. How come I'm not feeling like I fit in here? Like I feel like I'm this, I went through a moment of, where do I fit? Where do I belong? But I would say over the past 12 months or so, I found that belong. A bit like you, I found a community that I like, a really great community of true friends. Not that I don't have other true friends. I do still have them from before, but actually a community of like-minded people that I feel they get me. And that's what I've been searching for. And that's what I've been looking for. And I felt like, wow, that's now come together. And I feel like I'm not alone. And I think, which is amazing. But I remember intentionally putting that out there a couple of years ago, saying, you know what, I really looking for this really close knit community of people that I can just be myself with. And I know that I'm safe there. And I know I can talk about all these things that, these deep questions that we ask and we talk about. And I've found that now. And that has really that I feel like that's really supported me in my growth. So I do agree with you around this sense of community. And it doesn't have to be big numbers. It's not like we need hundreds and thousands of people like following us and supporting us. It's actually, sometimes the power is just in a small community, but of people that are really, there's no ego in that community. There's no competition in that. It's just like, we just love each other and we're here to support each other. And I've not found that before. And that is amazing to have. So amazing to have.
Yeah, so true, so true. And it is, and if you listen to this and you can resonate about being lonely, not people not understanding, but you haven't found your community yet, then you got to manifest it. You got to ask. You've got to be open to. And the thing I'd recommend is look for souls that challenge you. I feel like we went through a phase of either lowering our energy to be around people or being around people that don't challenge us.
Mm,
And so manifest and ask for that. And
yeah. Manifesting people, that the other thing that I was asking for was for people that champion you, that actually want you to grow, that want you to do well. They're not fearful of your growth. They actually want to see you shine, and they see that in you. And they're not, it doesn't, because it doesn't, they don't see that as like, oh, they're getting stronger than me, they're getting better than me, they're more successful than me. They're like, I want that for you, and I want that for myself, and those are the people you want to surround yourself with, not people that don't, that not that you don't get it, but you want people that are going to lift you up, and you want to lift them up
yeah,
as well.
no, totally to agree. So Rachel, I'd love to know more about your journey. What's anything that gets in your heart in terms of what guided you to become this version of you? Anything you want to share that's in your heart?
So what guided me to be this version now, well, has been many things. I suppose what I feel like led to share right now is, there was a time when I was turning 40, that nearly 8 years ago now. where I felt maybe what some people might be feeling now, that sense of loss, that sense of there's more, that sense of I don't, like, people might think that I'm successful, but I don't feel it. And I wasn't happy. I was fearful. I was like, gosh, there's something more in me to come out. I don't know what that is. I just knew that there was. That's led me to deciding to really look at that and go, okay, I'm not going to hold myself back anymore. I'm going to really, I remember sitting down and going, okay, universe, show me what that is. I'm ready. I'm ready for this next stage in my life. I'm ready for something bigger. I'm ready for more. I'm ready to be this stronger version of myself. Just show me what that is. Which was, I was a massage therapist at the time. I don't do any of that anymore. I'm a sound healer now. I would class myself as an energy healer, a spiritual channel, a spiritual guide. And when I say sound healer, I actually used to be an opera singer, a trained opera singer. So what came into me at that point was, Rachel, your voice isn't meant to be on the stage as a singer. Your voice is meant to be on a stage to help people heal. So I opened my voice, which I hadn't used for a long time, opened right back up again when I said I was ready, and vibrations came out of my mouth, sounds came out of my mouth, and I just realized that I could help. It's part of what I do. I do other things. What work do come through when I'm working, but a lot of what I do is through vibration, through sound. So I help people release a lot of their own fears, a lot of their traumas, a lot of things that might be trapped within their body. I will use the most beautiful of sounds to help them just release what's stuck within them. And sometimes it might be that there's some real anger in there and they've never been able to express it. And I can just use the voice as a vessel to allow that anger out of the body. And they don't have to feel it. I'll just use the voice to express it out for them, which is amazing. And the voice then comes in sometimes in the most beautiful way. It actually will shift people's frequency and their vibration onto a whole new level. And because it's with the voice, it helps unlock people's voice as well. If they feel like there's more they want to say, there's more they want to share, there's more they want to evolve into, then a lot of the work that I do will really help people sort of let go of a lot of fears they have around speaking or speaking their truth or sharing their truth. It will all unravel because I'm channeling and I'm using sound. I think it's very associated with the voice chakra as well.
Wow, I love that. I love that. The journey of having a passion in life, kind of, I guess when you were an opera singer, that's what you felt you were going to be doing for the rest of your
Yeah.
life, and then shifting, and then
Yeah.
and voice sound. It's it touches the heart and the soul in a different way than words do, and it's just
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people are trying to find their voice, and I look at my journey when I was 3 years old as refugees coming into the UK, didn't know the language. I was one of 9, one younger sister, everyone else is older, and I didn't have a voice, but the journey has led to me, for me, my voice being one of my gifts. And it's just, it's interesting finding your voice.
Yeah.
And so I'm curious, when you connect to your voice and use your voice to heal, and you mentioned you channel it,
Yeah.
what does that feel like?
Oh, it feels like I'm home. That's the only way I can describe it. I remember the first time it happened, I could just feel like a sense of it's almost like, it was like if a tap's been blocked and then you suddenly open it back up again. I was like, oh, it felt like everything just opened back up. So when I'm doing the work, I can't even call it work. It just feels like I'm home because this is what I'm meant to be doing. And the very first time it happened, even with the client I was with, I knew her really well. I got so emotional, she got so emotional, and everything made sense as to why I'd learned to sing, why I'd been on that journey, why I hadn't become an opera singer. I was like, everything in that moment was just like, oh, because I'm meant to be doing this instead. So when I'm just pouring out, and I'm just pouring out energy and vibration and love and channeling and sounds, and it's just feels free because I'm not holding back in any way. Because in that moment, it's not about me. It's about what that person needs or the group of people need. It just feels like I'm in my power.
I love it. I love it. So many people stress about what their purpose is and what the destiny is. I'm going to miss something. I'm going to do this. And my feedback is always, why do you want to stick to just one thing? Why would you, why would, and just, it's really interesting when you let go of a dream. And I always thought, when I began my career, I always thought I was going to spend my life in corporate. I was doing very well there, and just, I don't resonate with it at all anymore. It's just, at some point I feel like maybe I've got to do stuff for corporate and heal the corporate from within, but not, it's different. I'm just curious, how do you feel about opera? Do you feel still connected to that part of you that was, or do you feel like it's an old self that doesn't exist anymore?
I love listening to opera. Like I love hearing it. I love listening to it. Sometimes, I'll be at home and I'll just start singing, an aria, but I don't feel that I don't miss it in any way in that sense, because it didn't bring me what this brings me. It didn't actually bring me joy when I was in it. It didn't bring me fulfillment. I was a lot younger at the time, and it brought me a lot of doubt. It brought me a lot of I'm not good enough. Actually, what happened was my voice shrunk because there is a rejection in that world. You're not going to get picked for everything. You're not going to be some people will think you're great. Some people would think you're not as good, So there was a lot of having to overcome all of that. And my way at the time of dealing with that was actually to escape from it. I thought, I don't want any more rejection. I don't want any more, you can't do this. It's not for you. I thought, right, well, I'll just leave to protect myself. And that was how I protected myself from the rejection. I don't know where where is this going now? We've gone on a
No,
tangent.
it's all good. It's all good.
Um,
Yeah.
and so I had to overcome a lot of that. Again, when I started using my voice again, I was like, oh my word, what are people going to say? They're going to judge me. They're going to say your voice isn't good enough. And so I think what I'm trying to say is I had to unpick a lot of that fear again when my voice opened back up again, because I shut it down for a reason. The reason was I don't want any more rejection and I don't want to be judged anymore. And I had to let go a lot of that when the truth came back, when my voice, because I protected myself for a good 10, 15 years.
Yeah. I mean, for me, that's the cycle of healing, right? That is,
Yeah.
the things that we go through, it's part of our journey, right? So, your connection with voice, your voice being one of the healing modalities, you had to go through the early part, and then kind of go through the releasing that purpose, releasing. And it's that cycles of healing. And it's so powerful when, you could have quite easily just, what, that's my old world. My voice is not part of what I'm here to do. And because sometimes we get quite stubborn, right?
Oh,
So,
and I was
we're
very stubborn.
human.
I was
Yeah,
very clear. I was like, I'm never singing again. It's like it was almost like
but,
that's
yeah,
over.
I'm curious if I'd spoken to the opera singer from X number of years ago and said, you know what, in the future you're not going to be in opera anymore, but you're going to be doing this. What do you think that version of you would have said to me?
Wow, that's really interesting because as soon as you said it, actually, I felt quite lit up. So actually, I would have had my future self now. I'm imagining me now for my future self talking to my 26-year-old self. I'm talking to her right now, and going, "Do you know what? You don't need to worry about this. Like, you're going to be doing this down the line." I think I'd have felt a lot of relief and a lot of
Thanks.
like I'm just feeling into it now. I'm feeling a lot of relief, and I think that's a good thing because it would have, in a way, if I'd have known, it would have helped me probably overcome a lot quicker everything that I sort of put around myself at the time. But hey, I didn't have my future self telling me that.
Yeah, and also, you want to have gone through the healing, and
Exactly.
there's a divine timing to it.
Yeah.
But the reason I'm kind of asking is because I feel like so many people hold on to an old dream,
Yes.
and if there's any message you got from this podcast so far is let go of those expectations, because sometimes the magic is on the other side. And if you work so hard to become someone, but it doesn't fit your world anymore, then what would it feel like if you let it go and moved on to something else?
Wow. It's just, you know what? The word that just came to me is a lot of people don't do that because they feel like they're going to be uh, deemed a failure.
Yeah, and
And
it's
I've
yeah,
been in this, I've done this for so long. If I then change that or let it go, then I'm a failure. And I think that what I want to say is a bit like you were saying, you're not a you've learned so much from that experience that you've had, and you can take all of that forwards. But imagine being able to take all of that forwards and then put it into something that actually lights you up, that actually, and you might not even, I had, just saying to you, I had no idea for a good 10, 15 years that I was going to be using my voice in the way that I do. But when I let go of the fact that I knew I could no longer carry on with the way I was, I could no longer carry on just being a therapist, stuck in a room, me massaging. I was like, there's more. When I let that go, look what opens up.
you can
And,
imagine, yeah,
I didn't know, I really literally had no idea this was going to happen, but I
and
had
that's
to let
the
that
beauty
go.
of it. Yeah, and I feel like there's a fear of what's on the other side too, right? It's
Yes.
that
Yes.
you know, hold on, if we let go of this, what if nothing else comes? And
Yeah.
you know,
I'm going through that again at the moment, and I think this is the other thing.
I
Like,
can say that to you. Yeah,
everything change, everything. I'm going through that again at the moment. I'm letting go of how I used to. I'm letting go of how I used to run my business. I'm letting go of how letting go of a lot of things. Like, and there's been a bit of a void, and it's been, gosh, have I failed again? You know. But it's just like, no, there's something else evolving, and it's just unfolding at the moment.
it's interesting with language, right? Have I failed again? What if
Yeah.
we've never failed?
Mm.
Because we are the person. Because I always get asked the question, if I could change something, would I change anything? And it's easy for me to say no. It's like I am the person I am today because of what I've been through. But I actually believe that, as in, why would I change anything? And yes, I've been through lots of pain. We all have, right? But
Mm.
it's kind of made me stronger. It's activated different parts of me. And it's like, well, I don't know if I'd have the gifts that I have today if I didn't experience some of those things. So
Yeah.
you can't
Yeah.
pick up one end and stick and not the other. So
Yeah.
there's an interesting, but I'd love for you to talk about if somebody can resonate and feel like what they're doing doesn't fit into their world anymore, or if
Mm.
maybe they've already made a shift, but again, they're feeling like they're going through another shift. What would your advice to people be?
Okay, I'm just feeling into this a moment. I'm just
Yeah,
trying to
take your
connect
time.
him with. I'm just trying to connect him with that person. You know, with the people that are listening or someone who's struggling. Um, and I think the advice I would give is, and this is what helps me is, um, really think. So it's, I think it has to come from within. I think it has to come from not thinking like someone else might have the answer, or I'm going to go to this person and they're going to sort me out. I'm going to get, yes, absolutely. Listen to podcasts, listen to advice. You know, there is some great advice out there, but know that ultimately the answers are within you. And that might take some time to figure that out. So don't try and put yourself under any pressure to have to know all the answers right now. It may well be a journey. There may be things that you need to, what are the things that potentially are coming up for you right now that you need to, there's probably some things you need to let go of. There's probably some things that you need to heal, whatever that word is for you. You know, there's probably things that you can, if that you can look at on the inside and go, this, I imagine there's been some patterns that you've seen coming up in your life. And maybe now is the time for you to break those patterns or let go of some old patterns. And really, so I would say go inwards rather than trying to think, right, what's the next move? What's the next step? What's the next strategy? What's the next external thing that's going to sort this out? How about what is it that I need? What can I change within myself? Are there any new any things that potentially can help me with that? Is that taking time for myself more? Is that meditation? Is that um, spending time nurturing yourself, nurturing your soul, like realizing that you matter and that you are important, rather than like looking at everyone else and going, is everyone else sorted? Am I people, people pleasing, doing everything for everybody else? How about you spend this time with yourself and work out what matters to you? And ultimately, what do you want? Like, I've really been looking at, what do I want? Which is not always an easy question to answer, but
Yeah.
spend time really thinking about, like, really, really, what do I want? Not just what is potentially possible, like, what do I actually want? And go massive with that.
Because it's really interesting, right? It's probably alien to a lot of us to really sit and ask, what do I want? We're so used
Mm.
to, our programming is almost like put everybody else first and put ourselves last. And I really feel like we're being pushed right now to put ourselves at the center of our world. And it's just opposite of what we're taught, right?
Yeah. And and it feels uncomfortable. I remember talking to my husband about it, because he was like, well, have you stopped, and I was, because I was feeling like, oh, where's this going? Like, la, la. And he's like, well, what do you want? And I find it difficult to talk about it. And I've really had to sit down and start really like spend as though it's part of my job, as though it's part of my day, not just something I might spend a little bit of time on, but actually sit down and really, what do I want in my life? Where do I want to live? Who do I want to be working with? How do I want that to look like? How do I want to be feeling every day? Creating that picture. Because that's where the changes will come.
So, Rachel, I'm inspired to ask you a question. What do you want?
I love it.
Yeah, couldn't help
Yeah,
myself. It's like I got,
yeah,
so what do
yeah.
you want?
So, and I've really had to think about this. So, in terms of our life, I was like, do you know what? We want to move house. We want to go and live by the sea. We want to have more. We want to have much. I want to have much more wealth coming into my life. I'm not going to say the exact figures, because that's a personal thing, but actually, that's been a big desire to have more wealth, because, and I feel like led to share this, because it means that not only do we have more enjoyment, we have more fulfillment in the life that we have, it actually means that I can do more. Like, I can actually share more, I can become more, I can actually have more impact in the world. And so I've been really sort of like imagining this life by the sea. I've been imagining a second home. I've been imagining working with the most beautiful clients that I just feel so connected with, that I know it's going to fill me up and it's going to fill them up. So I've been desiring and asking for that. And at the same time, that then just brings me more freedom, more joy, more ease, all of those things that I think we all want, and the wealth to be able to do that.
That's so beautiful, and it's interesting, right? And money and healing is always is an interesting journey, and
Yeah.
I'll always talk about money as a vibration. It's an energy, so it's got on the material plane. So there's enough abundance to go around, and why do we sometimes feel like asking for more money is being greedy? It's really an interesting.
Yeah.
It's an interesting. I mean, it's not like the universe has a limit on how much abundance. The only limit
No.
the universe has is the limit that we put on it. So
Yeah.
how's your journey between money and kind of being a healer, using your modalities, been to truly allow money to come through?
It's been a roller coaster. Let's
I'm
just put it
sure.
that way. It's been a real roller coaster. Because I think, as healers, we have this desire to want to be able to help everybody. We want to share our love, and at the same, and I think, unfortunately, I think sometimes there's been a lot of poverty consciousness been put on the healing community, and I mean this in the most loving way, in that we shouldn't charge too much, or we shouldn't have too much, we should just give. And yes, we do, we're such giving, loving people, but we also have to make a difference, and we it's not greedy. I think I've had to really understand that it's not greedy to want more, and it's not greedy to charge for what I do, and actually to ask for what I want and what I need has been an interesting process. Let's put it that way. Um, and I've realized that actually, do you know what? Now I operate in quite a high level in the work that I do, with the private work that I do. And I'm okay with that. I've had to really let go of the fact that not everyone's going to be able to afford to work with me.
Yep.
That's okay. But what I can now do is create things, because I have got a little bit more financial freedom than I used to have, where I was literally hand to mouth, hand to mouth. Am I gonna survive this month? Are we gonna have enough, relying on my husband to bring in more money? Fear, 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 fear. It's like, I was like, I'm done with that. I'm done with that fear. I'm done with that living hand to mouth. I don't want that anymore. That's not, how is that filling me up? And how is that helping me do more? It's not, it's keeping me restricted. So, yes, I operate in a high level in terms of what I charge for the private work that I do. But hey, do you know what? If I now just want to go and help somebody because I can do, because I need to ask
Sure.
for money, I
Yeah.
can. I can create programs, and I create programs where anybody can access it. So it has this.
It's the balance.
It's a balance. It's a balance. And I'm not just saying we go and charge exorbitant amounts just because. Uh, I feel like, I suppose I've got to the point now where I know the value in what I do and what it
And,
brings, and I
and that,
feel there's
that's
a
key.
price point that matches that now.
And that's key. It's the value. It's that, you know, the law of exchange is really interesting in terms of, if you undercharge for your services, actually, I feel you're doing the other person a disservice too,
Mm,
because it's an exchange, right? And just um, the number of times I've had discovery calls with people, and they've kind of really wanted to work with me, but right now financially they weren't in that space, and I'm like, oh God, I really want to work with this person because I feel their energy, but I have to kind of let it go.
yes.
But so many of those people come back. It's just, and they manifest it, and just the journey we go on. They feel their connection to money and the abundance, and it's just so beautiful as they shine the light. But it's just, we're not here to fix everybody.
No.
Some people are assigned to us, and it's kind of like, I always have the trust and the feeling of like, okay, you know what? If this person's assigned to me, they'll find me and they'll figure it out, and because if you have a soul contract, you have a soul contract to work with somebody. It's an interesting journey, and
Yeah.
I mean, I left a 6-figure corporate role, and it's interesting leaving that safety, of a regular, really nice salary every month, and it's been an interesting journey.
Yeah.
Um, but it's probably the same with you in opera. I couldn't stay in corporate. I just couldn't. It wasn't like anybody asked me to leave. It was just, I got to a place where I knew I had to do something different.
Mm. And it's scary, and if people are hearing this, it's not for the faint-hearted, because it is scary, because you don't know what you're stepping into.
Yeah.
Um, and maybe don't just, and I don't know about you, but like the transition was, I worked part-time and I did this part-time, so what, you don't have to just feel like, oh, I'm just got to give everything up and then start with nothing, because that can bring up, I think there are ways to transition as well. And I think I suppose I want to give people hope, in the sense that, if you are potentially stuck in something, okay, so just don't think, I've just got to give it all up and find something else that's going to cover that all straight away. That if you're looking at the financial side of it, just start thinking, what is the one little next step that I can make? Is it that I make the role that I do part-time and I do something else part-time? Think, know that there are steps and options. It doesn't just have to be one massive, right, I'm going to shut one door and the other one's going to open, and there's this sort of like, there are ways to transition through it, I suppose, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean, what I would say is, I trust your intuition, and it's just,
Yeah.
I mean, I stayed in the corporate world probably longer than I was perfect when I left, but I was waiting for a package and all that. And the way I saw it for a while was, the role I'm in is funding my dreams.
Yeah.
I knew it wasn't what I was going to do long term. And it's interesting. My manager, who'd only known me for 18 months, when I said I was leaving, she's like, from the moment I met you, I knew you were meant to do for so much more. And I was like, isn't that interesting? Somebody that, I've had managers that have had people that have known me for years, but somebody that's only known me 18 months, as soon as she met me, she knew. And it's just like, I was like, wait, what?
Mm.
And it's just, it's interesting when you take that leap. So it's just, trust your intuition, I guess, is the only thing I'd say is trust
Yeah.
your intuition. I feel like, when I left, it was perfect, but I feel like timelines are accelerated right now. So if somebody's listening to this and, create things in parallel for sure. I mean, I was doing this podcast, for a few years while I was still in corporate. So I was doing mentoring on the side while I was still in corporate. I was reading Akashic Records while I was still in corporate. So for sure, if it feels aligned, create a parallel, do something on the side. But again, trust your intuition.
Yeah.
If you're
Yeah.
meant for more, follow that passion.
Yes. And you've got to, because ultimately you'll just end up I've just sort of sort of like got this image of just like shriveling, just sort of like your light
Yeah,
will, and
you'll be dying inside, 100%.
yes, that word was coming to me. It's not like literally going to die, but you're dying
Yeah,
inside, and we don't want that. You don't want that. People don't
yeah.
want that.
I mean, that was exactly what was happening to me in corporate. It was like I was
Yeah.
going to meetings and, I tell you exactly what happened. We were starting a new planning cycle and all the numbers and all the we do the same thing, budget, we got to grow this much. And then and I was like, oh my God, I can't do that for another year. I just can't. And just,
Yeah. And I think people hearing this will get that. They'll be like, yeah, that's me. And hopefully these words will inspire someone to go, right, I'm going to start opening the doors, and just setting that intention of going, okay, I'm ready for something different now. And I actually start setting that intention in motion, because then you'll suddenly, for me, there were people came into my world who supported me with that. Suddenly I found a great coach, a great mentor, I read a book, just start setting that intention, and actually it will start coming to you. But I do think there might be some aspect of you taking ownership of your life. And maybe if you're spending, I feel like led to say this now, if you're spending, are there things in your life that you can change? Because sometimes changing your energy around things, are there routines that you're in that aren't serving you? Are there ways you can start your day that are a bit more meaningful? Are there things you can do that can actually shift your energy? And because if you're feeling quite low and unmotivated, there are things you can do within yourself. Because sometimes what we do when we're feeling low is we numb ourselves with watching loads of television, or perhaps drink, no, I'm not saying excessive
yeah,
drinking, but doing that, or we complain, we moan, we like get into that negative cycle. Are there things that you can do that you can take you out of? Because there are things that we can do ourselves to take
yeah,
ourselves out of that cycle.
yeah. I mean, I love the phrase, if you want to change, change, you're not a tree, right? It's just,
Yeah.
sometimes we're so stuck. And the way I describe it is you've got to meet the universe halfway, right? You can't,
Yes.
it's like if you got to, some people like, hold on, if I got a purpose and destiny, I can just sit around and wait for it. Doesn't quite work that way. You've got to
No.
meet the universe halfway. You've got to connect to you. And how do you do that? Time in nature, time in meditation, time, some sort of physical activity, connecting with you and spending time with you. Because if you're busy and your life's crazy and you're uncomfortable spending time with you, then for me that means that you're going through a shift, and actually you need to spend time with you. You need to spend time in that uncomfortable energy, but do it in a meditative space. Do it in a space of walking. Do it in a space of being in nature. It's just be kind and gentle to yourself. It's
Yeah.
I feel like we're all going through this shift, so you're not on your own.
No.
Look for communities.
Yeah.
I want to go back to something because I'm curious.
Okay.
When I asked you about your kind of what are you looking to do now, kind of, and you talked about what being water and all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. Then you switched to we.
Yes, I did, didn't I? Yes, first of
Yeah.
my husband. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm just curious. How do
Mm.
you, on your journey, how do you how do you know when it's for you and when it's for both of you and when it's...
Wow. Yeah. I suppose I'm quite lucky in the sense that my husband and I have we both work on ourselves energetically, so we both are quite open to like uh, um, really thinking about these things, meditating, thinking about what we want, creating vision boards. We've both been on our journeys with this. I don't tell him to do it and he doesn't tell me to do it. It's just that we've
Mm,
actually, I think if you're in a relationship where you're like, well, they might not support me, they might not be behind me on this, then think about and I think when you think about yourself and you think about what do I want and you start making shifts in yourself, don't think about, but I need them to be on board with me. I need them to change in order for this to happen. I think that's where we can get stuck.
yeah.
It's nothing's going to happen because they're not going to do it. I promise you, if you and I honestly think because I started working on myself, he started working on I think it was so I think if you're intentionally changing your energy and really thinking about what do I want, what working on yourself without any other ulterior motive other than you and what is right for you, you will see. You won't even need to do anything because everything around your family around you will change because they'll notice the change in your vibration.
Yeah, and it's interesting. You're only responsible for you, and I always
Yes.
tell people, you got to raise your vibration, and when you do that, you give people an opportunity to do the same. But it's not on you to force them.
No. And it's also not on you to blame them if they're not doing it.
Yeah, it's okay.
You
It's
just
a
got to
journey,
hold the
right?
space for them and
Yeah,
go, do you know what? That's what, and because we can sometimes get in that angry mode of, oh, well, they're not doing it. They're not behind me. They're not this, they're not that. And you just have to go, you almost have to go, like you said, you can't force someone to do it.
it's interesting, and again, it's easy for me to say. And you said you were lucky, with I am not. I kind of disagree a little bit in the way that I'm not sure luck exists in that sense. I feel that everything in our external world is a result of something. So when you do the internal work, you manifest different people who
Yeah.
support you differently. And
Yeah.
um, and I know that this phase we're in right now, there are a lot of soul contracts coming to an end, and I'm sure that's a whole different episode about relationships and what that looks like. But this phase for me has to be about you. It has to be about you as a person. It's we're going through this shift, and we're shifting, and we're going through rebirths and resets. And if you don't know this version of you, if you're making everything about somebody else, if you're trying to fit into somebody else's world, I feel like the universe is playing a role to push us to deal with that. And this is ascension, third dimension, fifth dimension, whatever you want to call it. For me, the biggest thing is make it about you.
Yeah.
And if you're looking in your world and you don't fit in, if you're in a relationship where you have to lower your energy, lower your vibration, you can't be yourself, then walking away from that relationship is up to you. But working on you, doing the self-care, the way that Rachel described it, you're giving the other person an opportunity to lift their vibration. If they do, great. If they don't, that's part of your soul journey too, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
So Rachel, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit again. I love doing that. I'm wondering if you've got, if I don't know, this may not be possible. We didn't talk about it before, but
Mm.
is there anything that you can show us that you do with clients in terms of connecting using sound?
Mm. Well, we could do a little sound release if we like.
Let's
If
do
we've
it.
got, I just need the only thing is sometimes audio, when I start singing, unless I've got correct settings, will break up the sound. And we've not tried it on Riverside. So with Zoom, unless I've got it in certain settings, the sound won't come through.
I've definitely used sound before, so let's try it.
So let's see. Okay, if I can't tell if it's breaking up or not, if you can't hear it, let me know.
Okay.
Okay, so we'll just do a very short. What will we do? Let's just do a very short. Um, just a release, actually. I just feel like we're just going to help people just release a little anxiety that might be coming up, anything that's not serving them right now. We're just going to go into a little sound meditation to help people with that, if you're okay with that, Nimesh.
Do it. Let's do it.
Okay.
I'm excited.
All right. So let's just take a moment to ground ourselves. So whatever you're doing right now, if you're listening to this, potentially if you're driving, okay, do this bit when you get home, or don't completely switch off. But if you're able to I want you to just stop what you're doing. I want you to just put down. I feel like some people are kind of listening to this whilst they're cooking, or they're listening to this whilst they're doing other things. And I want you to just try this now and give yourself just a few moments where you're going to stop. You're going to connect and you're going to listen, and you're going to allow yourself to receive exactly what you need in this moment. So I just want you to close down around your eyes if you can, and if it's safe for you to do so. Just taking a few gentle breaths. Just feel your feet or your body on the ground, feeling yourself connected. And just say a few kind words to yourself. This is my time, this is my time, this is my time, this is my time, this is for me. Just allow yourself to be surrounded in the most beautiful of light that is now coming in and surrounding you in the most purest of way. This light is here for you. It is here to nurture you. It is here to support you right now. And I just want you to allow these sounds that I'm going to sing, the vibrations that I'm going to bring through, to really just wash through your body, just helping you let go of something, whatever that is for you, because this is for you. You're going to receive this in the way exactly you need to receive this right now. Just allow yourself to let go of what is no longer serving you. Any fear, any doubt, any belief that you can't do this, anything that is causing you to feel frustrated or stuck or full of emotion right now. Just go with this. And Nimesh, let me know if you can't hear it. I really I really just breathe and release. Because I feel like there's just an opening and a release happening sort of deep within the heart space, within the chest. Just allow whatever emotion that's been sitting there for some time, whatever that is, I just want you to just allow yourself to breathe that out. Just let it go. Let the emotion out, let the upset out, let whatever it is out. Give your body permission to release. Well done, well done, well done, well done, well done, well done, well done. We're just going to bring forward some light language as well. And I've let this go. Just allow this energy that you have let go of to release out of your system, out of your energy, clearing. We're asking that it is released. Return to source, return to source, return to the light, return. And here you now stand. Here you now stand or sit or lie. And I want you just to allow yourself now to be filled with light, with hope, with joy, with positive vibration, positive frequency, positive energy. This energy is bringing you a sense of opportunity, it's bringing you a sense of joy, it's bringing you a sense of there are options, there are ways for me to move forwards. I want you to feel like whatever you have let go of may have been dense, is now being filled with positive energy, with vibration, with light. I want you to just feed off a few moments. Just allow yourself to breathe that into your whole being, through the whole of your body, anywhere it needs to go, through your voice, through your chest, through your whole body. And here you are now, standing in light, in this beautiful vibration. Just allow these sounds to enhance that for you. Receive all this light, receive all this opening up, receive all these gifts. And here you now stand, full of light, full of positive vibration, full of hope, full of opportunity, full of possibility. And what I want you to take from this is, and say to yourself now, I am ready and I am open. I am ready and I am open for you to show me Source, show me God, show me the universe. What is my next step here? What is that next thing that I am meant to be doing? Guide me, show me, ask for it to come to you. And know that this is now going to unfold. If you stay open, I want you to stay open to the nudges, stay open to what you hear. And you may not be expecting it, and that is okay, but just stay open to, like, what is that next action step that I need to take? What is that next thing that I need to do for myself? And maybe an opportunity will come in. I want you to be open now. Just be open. The doorway is now open. It is now time for you to walk through that doorway and go, okay, I'm ready for life to be a different way, a new way. Show me what that is. Well done. And just be open to that. Just allow yourself to be, your energy to be grounded. Just allow yourself to come back into your body, back into yourself, feeling your feet, your body on the ground. I'm just asking that you are now surrounded and continue to be surrounded in the purest of light. Well done for taking this moment to connect in with yourself. You are ready. You are so ready. You've got this, and you can absolutely do this. You really can do this. It's like the energies are saying, we're here with you. We've got you. You can do this. Just allow yourself to say yes to it. Give yourself permission to say yes to it. Say yes to yourself. And it's like the universe is now saying, because now you've said yes to yourself, it can come in and support and guide you and work with the universe on this. And it will all unfold beautifully and magically. Thank you. And just come back in your own time.
Wow. So powerful. Thank you. That was beautiful.
My pleasure.
I think maybe the first time anyone's used light language on this podcast. I can't remember, but yeah, that's probably another whole episode. But light language is
Yes.
a
And
way
I was like, oh, shall I say this or not? No, it's just like, it's going to have to come out of my mouth.
But also, when you were using sound, my crown was. It's interesting. Earlier in the conversation, just when we were talking, my third eye was going crazy. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, with the sound, the crown was being activated for sure. So thank you.
Good. My pleasure. My pleasure. I hope it came through. I hope it came through the sound.
Yeah,
and
no, it did. It was perfect. It was perfect.
Great.
I mean, I think Riverside is kind of built more for. Sorry, have more information for everybody, but yeah, no, it came through perfectly. So thank you.
Thank you. My pleasure. I loved it.
Beautiful way to close out the episode. So I'll include your contact details and everything in the show notes. But
yeah,
if somebody wanted to reach out, if somebody wanted to work with you, what's the best way and what does that look like?
They just need to go to rachelwayte.com. It's very simple. There's an inquiry form if they want to work with me privately. There's if they want to find out about my group work, there's information on there. If they just want to try something initially, there's a session on there called Unstoppable Energy. They can just sign up for that, receive it, and listen to that themselves. If they want to connect with me, they can go to LinkedIn, message me there, contact me there. Those are the two places to find me. Generally on my website or on LinkedIn, just under Rachel Wayte, and I'll be there. There's not many of us.
Beautiful. Not many of us. I love it. I love it. Yeah, and just look, for me, this episode was all about finding you, finding your purpose, making it all about you, and how powerful sound is. So thank you for the journey that we've been on in this episode. Thank you for shining your light. And if you're going through a shift, then have faith, right? Have faith that you're being guided, you're being held. And I hope that you truly felt the energy and the power and the healing energy that comes through from sound when Rachel was showing us what she could do. Sending everyone so much love and light. And Rachel, I'm going to hand over to you to close us out.
Well, thank you. Yeah, just thank you so much for having me. Thank you for allowing me to share me today, and hopefully that's then inspired everyone else to go, do you know what? I'm going to put me first. And that's not in a selfish way, that is a loving way, because I think when we do that, when we give ourselves permission to be us, then we then give everyone else around us that permission as well, and that is a beautiful thing. So thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here, sending everybody so much love and light.
Yeah.
Thank you. Bye for now.
Bye.